It does. It does. All right, we're just connecting onto LinkedIn. This is so exciting. I'm really, really happy today because we are completely and utterly here with Reena Strehle.
Friday, happy Friday. It's so good to see you all. And Tracey, every fortnight we get so many more people coming to these sessions, and we're so happy to give value and to share information. I thought it was wonderful just looking at your post the other day in relation to conversations, and you said the most fascinating conversations happen when you least expect them. And I thought that was really good. So if you could just elaborate a little bit more. And then I want to talk about a topic, and that topic is all about AI. And possibly your AI isn't underperforming, Tracey, but it's just untrained.
Absolutely. And, the post that I did the other day about, the whole serendipity of sitting at a coffee shop and having, listening to conversations. And it's a little habit of mine of people watching and listening to conversations. I know it's a little bit naughty, but it allows you as a business owner to see what's going on within the business world. What are business owners chatting about? What are employees chatting about? And it was a really interesting conversation because this person here was actually talking about AI, but specifically ChatGPT, and how they have they're at the end process of developing their app for their fitness business, and we're talking about ChatGPT and how they could integrate that for a chatbot into their AI, like as an AI thing. And I, being me, decided to listen in and interrupt the conversation. And I'm so glad I did. And they're very glad that I did. And obviously I did it with a bit of humor because when they were talking about ChatGPT, I said, well, ChatGPT is actually called crap GPT for a reason. And it was all around how the language model talks like a robot with AI. Because it wasn't trained on the way that they spoke and the way they thought and all the things that we do as AI consultants and in training AIs. So we got discussing that, and he was like, "Oh, can you do AI bots, and chat bots onto apps and things like that?" And I said, absolutely, that's like my jam. We do that, and that's really, really cool. We train them and make them work on your apps or on your website or in Instagram messaging, things like that. So it's really cool that AI's come that far, but also it's really cool to make some wonderful connections by having the courage. And it took a lot of courage for me to step in on someone's conversation, but it was awesome. And, the serendipity of it, because they were talking about AI and I was sitting there having my morning coffee before another meeting. And yeah, it was fantastic. And we've taken that initial meeting and we had our follow-up meeting yesterday, and they are there. There's a proposal out for them and they want the chatbot put on their app, and they also want 4 other AI personas and some automation. So because the owner of the business wanted to step away a little bit more from one-on-one coaching and wanted the app to do that and also the behind-the-scenes stuff. So he was absolutely blown away, and so was his data analysis. He had a data analysis with him as well, sitting at the table. So he's all over it, and I'm super excited to be able to do that for him. And it came from interrupting one conversation.
Incredible. Well, you have the courage to do that, and it's absolutely the right place to be hanging out for you, Tracey. So,
oh, definitely. And I think people need to be listening and thinking of what is actually going on around them, because conversations are happening all the time, and it doesn't necessarily, well, for us it's AI, but in your business, are you listening to what's going on
Yes.
around you, as a business talking and employees talking, and what's the latest going on? Because generally people that are talking, that they're up to date with things, or they're inquiring about the latest up to date stuff. They're having questions. Can you answer those questions as a business owner? So it's just things like that, just being open to it. And Omar has joined. Hi, Omar. He's a message saying hi all. So absolutely fantastic. Omar, if you've got any quick questions, please pop them in, because Reena and I would love to be able to answer those. So awesome. But Reena, what's our topic today? Because we've got only a short window.
Need to talk about is really continuous improvement within organisations. Obviously, growth is really important. But how do organisations actually position, Tracey, with all that's happening, for example, with perplexity and menace? What would your advice be?
Yeah, look, the business world is constantly changing, and AI is constantly changing. And as we saw, a few weeks ago, Manus came out, which is an AI agent, which can autonomously do a workflow as well as think for itself and answer any questions to get you to the right point. So for me, businesses need to be on top of things in regards to staying ahead, being competitive and things like that. So AI can provide a huge, significant advantage in this by its ability to process and analyse enormous amounts of data at speed. And that is what a lot of businesses are using AI for. But I think generally some businesses are flying blind in this. And the way of doing it, because it's done at enormous speeds and it's exceeding our own human capabilities at the speed of analysing data, it's allowing businesses and making it possible to identify meaningful patterns and emerging trends. That's really important in business to stay ahead. So it allows for companies to shift from reacting to market changes to actually proactively anticipating future needs and discovering new opportunities before they become mainstream. So, and the way our AI does it is through the algorithms, so that are all embedded in AI, and they can sift through that diverse data source. But like anything, the output is only as good as the data you feed it. So you've really got to be conscious as companies and businesses of what data are you feeding it. So looking at market research and social media and uncovering correlations and anomalies that may otherwise remain hidden by humans. So that's what, it's not so much a novel idea anymore. It's actually quite a large thing for businesses to be doing, using AI to become a strong competitor and have that advantage.
Absolutely. So, Tracey, what would you say would be the 3 key takeaways then?
The 3 key takeaways for me would be making sure you've got the right data. Making sure that for your business, that is, because it depends on your business, and making sure you're asking the right questions of that data to get out the right output. So that would be the second one. The third one would be making sure that you have an AI consultant on your books, either as a consultancy thing or as an employee, to come in and really train that AI to know your business, and therefore can actually pull the most of that data for your analysis, so you can be at that competitive edge.
Fantastic. Tracey, have we got any questions coming in from our audience?
Not today. Today seems a bit quiet day. a look at some of the other questions that I know have come in previously about all of this stuff. So, and I do know that there was a question that came through about perplexity versus like the deep research aspects, and from DeepSeek and ChatGPT, and soon here in Australia, Claude will also have access to the internet and do deep research as well. So we're highly anticipating that. But for me, the biggest difference is on your use case. So I find Perplexity AI really, really good for real-time analysis and real-time research of everyday topics. And I find Gemini AI to be really good for business and world sort of deep research. ChatGPT I find, now this is all a personal opinion, I find from my anecdotal research is that ChatGPT can go off on tangents. So you do really need to be careful and check the output of that research. I know it is getting better, and it's getting better every week. So, that's a personal opinion. Some people love ChatGPT for deep research, and that's great. But for me, myself, I prefer to have Perplexity AI or Gemini at this point. They do some great research.
So from a creative perspective, Tracey, I see that you've changed your profile slightly and you've been doing some playing around. ChatGPT also has a plugin for Canva.
It does. But funny enough, I actually don't use that. So ChatGPT, well, I was using it, should I say. I don't have to anymore because ChatGPT has had a huge update, and you can actually upload photos into ChatGPT and ask it to manipulate the photo or create new backgrounds of the photo, and a whole variety of other things that I haven't quite delved into yet because the update's only been this week. And it's super exciting. So one of my posts, I actually uploaded a new picture of me, which I had done professionally by, the lovely, oh my gosh, my brain, perimenopause, does it every time. But I will find that name very, very shortly. But yes, it's definitely a great aspect to changing things up a little bit creatively. And I know for myself, I've had an amazing time playing around with it and being creative with some of my posts, and I've really, really appreciated that. So I'm just getting up my post so I can get this person's name properly, because I would really, 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 really like to acknowledge who did my profile pic. The lovely lady's here in Adelaide, South Australia, and her name is Heidi Wolf. So that's who I would absolutely love to acknowledge. And if you want to get in contact with her, she is on LinkedIn. She does amazing commercial and business-related photography. So she did that, and I uploaded that picture, and then I asked it to create it as an anime picture, and that was the result. And I actually thought it was a really good likeness for anime.
I thought it was fantastic, Tracey. So, look, it's been wonderful discussing all this with everybody, and thank you so much, everyone, for joining us all over the world. We really appreciate you being here. And Tracey and I will see you on Friday, the 11th of April. That's our next session. But in the meantime, feel free to reach out if you've got any questions, or if you do need an AI consultant, you know where to come. But we're always here, happy to serve, and wishing you a wonderful weekend.
Have a good one, everyone. Bye.
Bye.